This will be a very short video. We're going to talk about reciprocal functions. There are actually 6 different trig ratios that we can get from a right triangle. We've talked about, if this is our angle theta, this would be the opposite side, the adjacent side, and the hypotenuse. And we know that sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, and that's our SOHCAHTOA. Using our SOHCAHTOA, cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent. Well, we're going to introduce 3 other ratios. One of them is called cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. So we say that cosecant of theta is the reciprocal, or 1 over sine of theta. And we find that using hypotenuse over opposite. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So secant theta is 1 divided by cosine of theta. Now you might notice there that we have cosecant with sine and secant with cosine. So remember that the cos do not go together when we're talking about reciprocal functions. Cosecant goes with sine, secant goes with cosine. The third one is called cotangent, and it does go with tangent. Cotangent then would be adjacent over opposite, or we can say that cotangent, notice the abbreviations, is 1 divided by tangent of theta. So let's just look at an example. Let's say I want to find, well, let's just look at a triangle. Let's use the angle 120 degrees. So this is 120 degrees. My reference angle would be 60. I would label my triangle. This would be negative square root of 3. This would, no, sorry, that's not right. That would be negative 1 there. Negative 1, because this would be 30. Negative 1, square root of 3, and 2. So if I wanted to find, for example, cosecant of 120, well, first I would find sine of 120. This is the way I would do it. Sine of 120, I would remember, okay, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Sine of 120 is opposite over hypotenuse, square root of 3 over 2. So what is cosecant? It's reciprocal. 2 over the square root of 3. It's hypotenuse over opposite. If you rationalize the denominator, like if you check this on your calculator, it would come out looking like this, 2 to the square root of 3 over 3. But I would accept either of these as acceptable answers. If I wanted to find cotangent of 120, I would remember, well, tangent of 120 is opposite over adjacent, square root of 3 over negative 1. So cotangent would be negative 1 over square root of 3, which would also be negative square root of 3 over 3. So that's how reciprocals work. You just take the reciprocal function, figure out what the original function is, and then just take the reciprocal of it. Let's do one more. What if I wanted to do cosine of 120? Well, looking at our triangle, cosine of 120 would be negative 1 over 2. So I guess I should, what if I wanted to do secant? Secant of 120 would be negative 2 over 1, or just negative 2. Okay? So those are all your reciprocal functions. We don't use reciprocal functions as often as we use the original sine, cosine, and tangent, but they are occasionally used, so I just want you to recognize, very easy to work with. Just find the original function and then take the reciprocal of it.